No, you can't. Is the I do sometimes. Yeah, sometimes you do. Well, no, but not even consciously. Sometimes you're just sort of when you know if you're in an environment and you're surrounded by people who talk in a certain way, you do sort of. Everyone does that, don't they? A little bit. You start sort of mimicking what you're hearing, and you just have to sort of be aware that it's a bit of an odd thing to do, especially if people. Because if you start pretending for instance, if one is in America, you start pretending to be American and you're sort of pootling around Walmart or whatever.
Walmart. There's no way to say that in a British accent and not sound like it's just beneath you.
That was not my implication.
We even feel that way about Walmart in Texas. So. Some of us were maybe even like born in a Walmart. So
Walmart is a store like we would never have back home. It's like, oh, you have toys and you have toilet roll. You have everything in one shop.
It's true.
Very clever.
You should, if you think that's cool, you should check out a Target.
Aren't they the same thing?
They are definitely not the same thing. You literally just went from being everyone's favorite, like, beloved doctor to you just offended all our sensibilities about Target.
I genuinely thought Walmart and Target were the same company. Is that not true?
You should probably just stop right now. Next you're going to say you thought Whataburger and In-N-Out were the same thing.
So which is better? Whataburger! Hey, come on, let's break it down. I'm going to do both. I want to hear the reaction. So first of all, cheers for Walmart.
Those people work at Walmart.
Just that side of the room.
Those people work at
This
Walmart.
side of the room hate Walmart. Hate it. We love it. We hate it. We love it. Target.
This has gone some really weird places that I was not prepared for.
Sorry, employees of Walmart on the back. You did lose that one.
We should stop talking about Target. We've got Doctor Who to talk about. All right, next question.
Which is the nicer sign?
Oh, Target?
Show us Walmart.
Yeah.
Show us Target. Oh, that's better. That is better. You're right, Target's better. I did a play once. In fact, Emily was dressed up like a bit from it. Comedy of Errors, William Shakespeare play. And then, thank you. Oh yeah, for Shakespeare. He's not here. There's a bit in it where Tyntalis of Syracuse and Dromio of Syracuse, they talk about this kitchen wench that Dromeo's just seen, and they go through. It's like a little bit of music hall act that they do, where they go through all the countries of the world, and they go, and where's Spain? Oh, it's under her armpit. Where's this? Oh, it's there. And this is sort of, it's a bit. It's like a bit. And the night we had the signer in, we were, you know, where's Spain? And the signer did, where's Spain? And we slightly cooked it up. So there's a place in Wales called Clanbai Pwchwyn Gico Gerrig Wyn Drobo Chlanti Sigir Gogogoch.
Hey, that's the same symbol for Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey.
And that was the bit we did. Where's Spain? Where's Portugal? Where's them? And then we go, where's Clanbai Pwchwyn Gico Gerrig Wyn Drobo Chlanti Sigir Gogogoch? And then we walked over to the sign and we went like that. Whenever you're ready. I have no idea how you spell it. So it's Welsh. It's got like loads of consonants and no vowels. There you go. That's my story about signing.
I'm having fun. This is fun. Are you guys having fun? All right. Let's get to the next question.
If you had a fourth season of Doctor Who,
I mean, can't see anything. Where are they? Oh, there you are. Hi.
There are not two lines like we thought. There's only one.
okay, so if you had a fourth season of Doctor Who and you could choose your companion, who would you choose?
Is this like any fictional character or like the existing companions?
Any actor.
Any actor.
Ooh, I'd have my wife, I think, so that I can see her. She's due a return to the show anyway.
Well,
right?
and she's of Doctor Who royalty.
She's a Doctor Who blood.
Yeah,
Blood's through.
your father-in-law is number 5, Pete Davidson, if you guys didn't know that. So
Did you
that's
just call him
Pete.
Did you just call him Pete Davidson?
Can I not do
I
that?
don't think he's a Pete.
Okay, all right.
And I'm not a Dave.
Okay. David and Peter.
Yeah.
All right.
Michael Sheen's not a Mike.
But Michael Sheen would make a great doctor.
He would be a great
He'd be a
doctor.
really great doctor.
He'd be a sensational doctor,
He'd be
yeah.
a great doctor.
Not a good Mike, though.
Not a good mic. All right, next question.
All right, so John Barrowman has been here quite a few times, and he always tells about the stories that he does on set and the craziest ones he thinks. In your opinion, what is the craziest thing he's done?
Oh my God, I don't know if we have that much time.
There's children in the room, so I can't even begin to. I'm just going to draw a veil, and I wish he had. Now, having John around is always enormous fun. I have to say, he's a sort of constant. He's like a sort of Roman candle of effervescent life. And that goes back to the story I'm not telling you as well. Moving swiftly on.
Next question.
Okay, so I'm a fan of all things Doctor Who, and I absolutely love watching the bloopers. So, what's the most awkward thing that has happened on the set of Doctor Who?
The most awkward thing. Ooh, what's the most awkward thing? It probably did involve John Barrowman. Not drawing a veil, I would imagine. Oh, I don't know. I mean, not laughing was always an issue, especially there's a lot of very funny people, and also often in Doctor Who, usually because you're terribly sort of connected. The trouble with Doctor Who is if you take a step back, if you look objectively at some of the things you're doing, it can then feel a little odd, especially if it's somebody with a green ball on the end of a stick that you're having to invest with all manners of horrors or whatever. And most of the time you just do that because that's the job and that's the gig, and it's like being in the playground and you make believe, and that's great. But I suppose if it's something brings you out of that, it can be tricky. I can't tell that story. Can I tell that story? When we did the werewolf episode, it's called Tooth and Claw. You probably knew that. I did that. Extraneous information. And the werewolf was created in a computer by the geniuses at the Mill, who were our CGI experts. But it's represented on set somehow or another, usually for an eye line or for a sort of a reference for the people who then replace the image. So we had a guy who had a thing on in the end. He had a sort of bicycle helmet with a thing on it to show sort of where the head of the creature would be. And he was in a kind of lycra bodysuit, and he would sort of come on, which was fine and great, and he did it extremely well. And that was all. But this was very tight. This thing he was in. And I hope he won't mind me mentioning it, but about a couple of days in, maybe not even a couple of days, somebody noticed that this left very little to the imagination. And this boy was a boy. I mean, it would have taken your eye out. Terribly impressive. Inspiring. It inspired awe. And the trouble is, once you've noticed that, it's quite hard to keep your eye line on the tennis ball that's coming out of a stick on the top of his head. Because the eye is being drawn for whatever your reasoning might be, whether it's awe or envy or just, you know, the sheer record-breaking dimensions. I don't know if it crept up on a Doctor Who Confidential or anything, but it's worth checking out.
Well, it's out there now. All right.
He won't mind me mentioning it. I suspect he won't.
No, I don't think you would. Next question.
Hi.
If you
You swapped. Fan by book when you could get it
Whoa. She was practicing.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, next question.
If you could choose any other Doctor's companion to have as your own, which would you choose?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't it? Ooh.
Hey, she blows stuff up!
Was that Ace? She blows stuff up. Right. Yeah, good choice. I don't know. It feels wrong to select. I mean, I always felt very hugely privileged that I got one of the other Doctor's companions, sort of, as one of my companions, because I got a bit of Sarah Jane Smith in my life. And she was the companion that, as a child, I had first sort of latched onto, you know, like a chick hatching from an egg. Adapts the first thing they see is their.
She imprinted on you.
She imprinted on me. So I suppose maybe the answer to your question is that I got what I would have wished for. I got Sarah Jane in my TARDIS. Come on.
Did you, as a kid growing up wanting to be Doctor Who, did you have a favorite Doctor Who? Or is that like picking a favorite kid?
Well, I suppose it's the ones that you first know,
Yeah.
and I think that's often, you know, people that you never forget your first time.
Yeah.
So
It's like everyone makes fun of me for having my favorite James Bond be T-Dolts, but that's who I grew up with.
he's a popular choice.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good
And a
one.
magnificent Time Lord.
Okay. All right. Now you know what? Let's get into this.
Let's get into this. Whatever this is.
If you guys don't know, there's a little thing going around the internet about other fictional characters that could or couldn't be Time Lords. So I have a few.
I don't know what this is. This sounds great. Go.
Yeah. All right. Let's. I'm gonna quiz you. Here we go. Let's start with James Bond. Time
Okay.
Lord?
No.
He's not a Time Lord. Okay. Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mary Poppins.
Totally.
Definitely a
Yes,
Time Lord.
it almost definitely is. That would explain a lot.
David Bowie.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
He's just regenerated.
Yeah.
He's not there forever. And then lastly, Barty Crouch Jr. I think that's our answer.
No, he's not
No.
Time Lord. No.
Okay.
No. Yes, he is.
All right. But Willy Wonka and Mary Poppins definitely.
Definitely are. Definitely are. Yeah. Yeah. What's it?
Miss Frizzle?
Miss
From
Frizzle.
Magic School Bus? Gotcha. We'll move on. This is going to be another Target segue. We don't want to go down that wormhole. Let's just say yes. The Magic School Bus was actually a big yellow TARDIS. She's a Time Lord.
Yes.
Next question.
In the Agatha Christie episode,
Yes.
where you guys are fighting the giant wasp,
Yes.
how many takes did your kiss with Catherine Tate take?
I don't remember now, to be honest. It was what was tough about that is that we did the whole sequence in one go. I remember it wasn't broken down, so that it was. I was always knackered because I had to do a lot of puffing and panting, and Catherine's doing, I can't time races. I don't know she's doing all that, and I'm trying to mime the whole thing. And of course, this sequence ended with her. I said, "Shock, guys, shock me! I need a shock." And she sort of grabbed me and snogged me. and that's what jolted the doctor out of his, gave him the escape from the poison. But the terrible thing was, because I had to put all this stuff in my mouth, the anchovies, which were actually slithers of mushroom, and the salt, and what else was it? I can't even remember now. But we'd get to the end of that sequence, and I would have stuff all over my face. Bits of mushroom hanging off, and dribble and snot, and Catherine, God bless her, every time had to just grab me and get stuck in there. So I think we probably minimised the number of takes just for her own, the sake of her own health. But I can't remember how many takes exactly. It was a long time ago now, I guess. But we didn't do anything that many times. There was only, the schedule on Doctor Who was pretty fierce, so I can't imagine it was more than 2 or 3. I wouldn't have thought. But I remember it being pretty disgusting. And that's nothing to do with Catherine. That was purely to do with me missing my mouth.
All right, so we're running out of time because we talked about Target way too long. So let's. Oh my God! I think you're next week probably going to get a call from Target's marketing department hiring you as a new spokesperson, and that's going to be their new catchphrase. Just David Tennant going.
Hi, my name's David Tennant. I'm the voice of Scrooge McDuck, and I would like to welcome you to Target.
That video, that's it. All that to say, let's try and get through some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hi, one of the fun things about this weekend is seeing all the heroes and villains. And I've been told by my daughter, who's Emily over there, that of your 194 roles to date, only 7 are villains. And I was interested. And my question has to do with playing good or bad roles and how you feel about those or think about them and approach them.
I want to know how you worked out your statistics. I want a flowchart. Or some sort of PowerPoint presentation.
She had percentages in there.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
I don't know, interesting. 7 out of 194, did you say?
That's what I've been told.
Well.
Yeah, as good a hero as you are, you play a really good villain, Jessica Jones.
Well, thank you. That's very kind. But I think you try not to differentiate too much. I mean, obviously Kilgrave ain't a stand-up guy, but he doesn't think of himself that way, So I guess you've got to try and not be too judgmental about any character you play, because also most characters are somewhere on the spectrum between good and evil, aren't they? Not everyone's a hero, not everyone's a straight villain. Most human beings, all of us, are somewhere kind of on the sliding scale in between, I think. So I think that's how you try and make sense of any character you play, by not compartmentalizing them, I suppose.
Yeah, good question. All right, next.
Hey David, how you doing?
Hi.
What's your favorite Billy Piper story?
My favorite Billy Piper story? Oh my goodness. Once Upon a Time. I don't know. Favorite story? Again, probably not things I'm going to be repeating to a room full of strangers. It's always, I love spending time with Billy, I love working with Billy, and we recently did some CDs for, we did The Doctor and Rose again for Big Finish, we did some CDs. And it's always just such a joy to do anything with Billy. It just feels so easy, she's so easy to work with. I suppose the downside of that is that we did laugh quite a lot. I suppose I always, when I think about when we did the episode The Idiot's Lantern, and Billy had to have no face, and that of course was done by putting little CGI tracker markers on her actual face, and me having to pretend that she didn't have a face. I believe there's a blooper reel of that somewhere, because that took an awful lot of takes. Just, that was one of those moments when you just step back and go, this is really silly now. So I don't know, I don't have a specific story to tell, I suppose, just that I think back to those times very happily, very fondly.
All right, we have a question from a Pikachu.
Oh yeah!
Hey, I choose you for the next question.
What would you be if you were
What was that, sorry?
What would you be if you weren't an actor?
Unemployed.
She's walked off.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Who was your favorite companion to travel with in Doctor Who?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm going to answer that question and not get myself into a lot of trouble. I genuinely don't have a favourite. Even if I did, I probably wouldn't admit it, because that would be...
Because then it's out there.
Yeah. So, but no, I genuinely, I had 3, long-term travelling companions, and then lots of other people who came on for quick trips, and I feel sort of hugely loyal and fond of every one of them. I think I was very lucky. I didn't have anyone that I didn't enjoy travelling the TARDIS with.
Can I ask? Do you have anything to say to all the guys out there in their mom's basements who have never talked to a girl that have a problem with the first female Doctor?
Well, just tune in and you'll
Yeah,
stop having a problem with that. I think
that was shade.
I think I think that's one of those things, isn't it? I think the Doctor changing is always contentious.
Yeah.
Because people love a version of the character. They fall in love with versions of the character, and the idea of that character moving on, becoming something different is often quite difficult.
Yeah.
Until, of course, the next Doctor starts, and then you fall in love with them. That's how the show works, and that's how it's continued to work. That's why it's still here.
Yeah. We were long overdue for a female Doctor, right?
Yeah. But actually, it just comes down to the right person for that role.
Absolutely.
And Jodie is without a doubt the right person for that role.
As a father of a young daughter, and then to be somebody who's at conventions a lot, and to see girls dressing up as the Doctor, it's amazing, because now we have Rey in Star Wars and female Ghostbusters, and it was time for a female Doctor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we've had 50 years of male Doctors. Yeah. All right, next question.
What quote are you most proud of? From Doctor Who.
Quote was that?
What's your favorite quote?
Oh, wow.
Like a Doctor Who quote? Okay.
I don't know. There's so many good. I mean, when you get the great writers that we had, it was such a joy to open every script and get given all these amazing lines, like they come out of your head. So I don't know, that little thing about the hermits, I like that. Hermits United, that was nice. Although I couldn't remember word for word right now, so I'm not going to try. But so many really. But what's interesting is at the time you don't realise the things that are going to, like I just heard through the door, you had the bit from Blink going. At the time you don't think, at the time that was me on a day off from because Blink was shot at the same time as another episode. So I got a day off from, what was it now, I can't remember. But I was filming another episode, I got one day off, I got sent to the studio, and I literally had an autocue. Like it says in the episode, I'm reading this from an autocue. I was, because I didn't have time to learn it. You just read this stuff, and of course it's great, because Stephen Moffat's brilliant, and he writes this wonderful dialogue. But then what's weird is that decades on, things like, I'm meeting so many lovely people here, and they're going, and could you just write wibbly wobbly timey-wimey on that? And things like that, you're going to go, I would have known in a million years that that's the line that would sort of, that would travel with you. Or that, that you could, because when you're in the moment and you're just learning your lines, you're turning up, you're just trying to do the best you can in each individual moment, and you can't predict what will sort of have legs, what will kind of travel through time, as it were.
All right, let's get a little bit. I want to try and get through as many as possible. So let's rapid fire.
You always talk about having so much fun on set, but which episode of Doctor Who was the most emotional for you to film?
The most emotional. That's interesting. I suppose leaving the show was hugely emotional, obviously. And then when anybody left the show, like when those final scenes with Catherine in the TARDIS when I had to wipe her memory, that scene, or I know, wasn't it sad? Or that scene where Freema leaves, that sort of terribly bittersweet scene when Freema says she's going to stay at home and the Doctor can't quite bring himself to kind of tell her how great she is, or of course the scene on Bad Wolf Bay when the Doctor and Rose say goodbye was, oh, I know.
She's still feeling that one.
I know. But then, funny enough, the very last scene we shot on series 1 was very sad. It wasn't, we shot out of order, so it was actually the bit at the end of the Satan pit where the Doctor and Rose are. It's just the end of an episode, and they're talking to someone on one of the human survivors on the ship, and they just say, "Who are you?" And the Doctor and Rose, I can't even remember the lines, but I remember it was Billy's last day on set. And our last day of series 1, and it had been such a kind of emotional roller coaster, the whole thing, because it's quite a mad thing to come into a show like that, and Billy had been such a sort of rock at kind of helping one kind of get up to speed with the madness of it all. But the idea that she was going off and I was staying on was sort of felt like quite a loss at the time. So shooting that scene was actually one of the hardest to do in terms of sort of keeping it together. But you wouldn't necessarily know that from the finished episode. But I suppose that was the one that I remember being particularly difficult to shoot.
I think I speak for all of us when I say I don't think any of us have cried nerd tears like we cried when you said, "I don't want to get up." It was still gets me. Still gets me.
I did too.
All right, next.
Hi, David.
Hi.
So I'm really excited that you're going to be in Good Omens.
Oh, thank you.
Because Neil Gaiman is one of my favorite authors and one of my favorite actors, so I actually threw together a Crowley.
You look like you're dressed as Crowley.
I am.
I can't really see you, but I can see a sort of silhouette and the hair and the... Yeah, very good. Nice.
So...
Wow. Quick work.
Thank you. I hope this is not too nerdy of a question, but...
Oh, I hope it is.
Not this room.
Come on.
Do you happen to have a favorite book, or are you like a big reader?
Ooh, I don't know if I have a favourite book. Harry Potter.
Good one.
No. No, I mean, they're great. Oh, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. I guess, I think probably the books that I read that first kind of opened my brain to novels are the ones that kind of feel particularly important to me. And that was probably ones like To Kill a Mockingbird and Catching the Eye, something like that. Something where for that first time you feel like someone's writing a book just for you know. The Passion by Jeanette Winterson, do you know that book? You should. So yeah, but not one individual, but several books that I've met a lot over the years. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, we have time for one, maybe two more. So let's go fast.
Okay.
What was the most awkward episode of the whole series?
Was that awkward?
Yes.
The most awkward episode? Oh, I don't know any of them are awkward. Some of them are a bit more difficult. Anything in a spacesuit was always quite uncomfortable. Because you had to also to hear everyone, you had to have something in your ear and then something, and you had a big thing and you had to pump air so it didn't mist up all the time. So that was a bit like literally acting in a bubble. But I don't think nothing felt awkward. It was, it was a very, it was a genuine, it was a happy time, and it was, filming all the episodes was a very positive thing, really. And it probably sounds like a standard answer, but it's true.
All right, looks like we have time for just these last few questions that cut the line off. So here we go.
Okay, so I super obsessed over the exact right thing, best thing to ask, and I couldn't come up with anything. So my question is, what are your favorite kinds of questions to answer at these things? And/or what kind of things can fans say to you, like in passing during autographs or photo ops, that just really make your day? That is my whole goal. I'm like, I want something that'll make him smile, make him happy.
Oh, I suppose the thing with it's a question that makes you that takes you by surprise. I suppose that's the answer to both parts of your question. So therefore, it's not. I wouldn't even know what that is really, because until it happens, you know, if I knew what it was, it wouldn't be surprising. So I suppose it would be that really, something that you've never been asked before, something that makes you go, oh, I don't know, I never thought about that.
You mean like how you feel about Walmart?
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Yeah, and finding out Walmart and Target, not the same company, different companies.
You guys are gonna go to his table and he's gonna be gone, and they're like, why did David leave? He had to leave early because he had to stop by a Target on the way to the airport.
Target, very popular. Walmart, not so much, it turns out.
No, everyone is gonna come up to you now and boop you on the nose. Don't do that. All right, next question.
Hi, David.
Hi.
Hello, sweetie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm excellent.
Good. My question is real simple, but maybe not. What was the best thing that you enjoyed about being the doctor?
I think it's that. I mean, that's it. Because I grew up with it. You know, and I had posters on my wall of Tom Baker and Peter Davison being the doctor. And then you sort of turn around and go, oh, that's me now. That's mental. Yeah, I suppose it's just that. That's the best bit.
It's awesome. Hi.
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 My name is Piper.
Hi, Piper.
Good name.
Thank you. But what is your favorite kind of music?
Oh,
Celine Dion, apparently.
My favorite kind, that would be quite restrictive. I like to, it really changes. I have bands that I really like. The Proclaimers are a big band for me. The Beatles are a big band for me. But then I'll have albums that have, you know, that particularly capture a moment in time. I've just been listening to the 30th anniversary release, which makes me feel very old, of the Joshua Tree, which was an album that I love way back, and I'm getting into that all over again. But then I was in New York recently. I saw Dear Evan Hansen. Have you seen that? So I've got that soundtrack I'm listening to a lot at the moment. Amazing show, by the way. You should see it. Hamilton, the soundtrack for that. Loving that. So yeah, so at the moment, it's kind of, it's that, but there's always something, you know, and it changes. I'm terribly eclectic.
All right, I believe, is this the last, are you the last one? This is the last question?
Come on.
Don't mess it up.
Make it count.
As far as gender bending goes in the media and in Doctor Who, what would your words of advice be to your female counterparts taking on male roles?
That's a good question.
Well, do you mean specifically in terms of Jodie, or?
I mean specifically in the transfer of a male role to a female role, for example, the new female Doctor Who.
Well, I don't think about it for something like the Doctor. I think the great thing about part of the Doctor is it sort of is filtered through whoever the actor is who happens to be playing it at the time, and you have quite an amount of freedom within that as well to just kind of throw yourself at it, as it were, and therefore I think that's all Jodie will have to do. I think actually the fact is it's not really about gender. It's about finding the truth of that character as it corresponds with the person that's playing it. So I think gender is sort of secondary to that.
Yeah.
It's just about telling that story, and Jodie's a fantastic proper actor, so that is what she will undoubtedly do.
Yeah, and hopefully very soon we'll get to the day where it's just not about her being the first female Doctor, but just she's the next Doctor.
Yeah, there's always something. It's like, you know, Daniel Craig, the first blonde James Bond. The world is over. Oh, no, it turns out it's quite good. Oh, okay, well, shut up. Maybe there should be a law that everyone just stays off the internet when things like this are announced, just as quiet until it comes out, and then we can judge.
There you go.
How about that?
Words of advice: stay off the internet, boys and girls. All right. Well, I don't want to go. But before we go, we have something special for you. You, of course, have done many a great voice acting roles. Scrooge McDuck.
Thank you.
amongst others, but one of them is the Clone Wars, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And our friends at the North Texas 501st Garrison would like to present you with a special certificate. So let's give a round of applause for our North Texas 501st Garrison. I believe these guys only enter into yep, there we go.
Contributions to Star Wars: The Clone Wars is Hugh Ang, the architect. On behalf of the Star Garrison of the 501st Legion, we'd like to present you with an honorary membership.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. These are amazing. Look.
Don't touch them.
Stormtroopers are really scary in real life.
Hey, you should poop him on the nose.
Target. This is the nose. This is the nose. Look.